You ever get the feeling that everything in America is completely fucked up?
Two local men confronted authorities with a rather bizarre story and of being taken aboard by three unearthly creatures. One of the men suffered a nervous breakdown and is still under treatment.
I got bum rushed by a female Bigfoot. She dragged me into the woods and started carrying me sort of like a sack of potatoes.
Questions after more unidentified objects are discovered over U.S. and Canadian airspace.
Are aliens out there, and have they ever made contact with us?
It's that time again. You're about to receive your daily dose of audio vomit. We are going to talk about the things that go bump in the night and the things that you might see in the sky. We will even talk about Bigfoot and other stupid bullshit that will make your day fucking awesome. So grab your favorite drink, kick back, and turn up the volume. It's time for the Rick Itzari Show with your host, Rick Itzari.
Whoa. So here I am, the Rick Itzari Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining on me for another week, and I'm glad that you're here. So Rick Itzari Show. Hope everyone's doing well, and it's a late night for us. We're broadcasting here. We got a special guest tonight, our friend of the show, Green Man. We're supposed to have two more other guests. If they appear, they appear. If not, no big deal, But this week has been up and down. I'm glad to be here. The topic tonight I'm going to throw out there is the Mandela Effect. I don't know if you've ever experienced it or even know what the Mandela Effect is. But actually, I came up with this subject today at work. I had a coworker that asked me about what the Mandela Effect was. So I explained it to him, and then we started talking about things. Like, gosh, I got to get this lady on the show. She seems to be pretty deep into the paranormal and also into other few crazy things like that. But I want to throw out some promo for myself here. I actually got picked up by iHeartRadio this past week, so now you can listen to the back catalog of the Rick Itzari Show on iHeartRadio. You still listen to me on Spotify, and of course right here on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Send me a message. Also do letters of the letters to Rick. So if you ever want to tell your story of an encounter, UFO, ghost, kind of paranormal activity, or something's going on with you or a friend or a family, send me an email and tell me about it. I would love to hear from you, or if you want to be a guest on the show, I would love to have you as a guest on the show. It's just great to hear other people's opinions and listen to their stories and everything like that. Like I said, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube. You can listen to me on Spotify and iHeartRadio. So, with that being said, as I was saying, the Mandela Effect. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing. And with the Mandela Effect, I had to explain it. If you don't know what it is, let's start off. It got the name from Nelson Mandela, as he, as you know, was the president of South Africa at one time. A lot of people think that Nelson Mandela died in prison, but actually Nelson Mandela died after he was the leader of South Africa. A lot of people remember that him dying in prison, but in actual reality, he actually died years later, after he became president of South Africa. And then, a few years after that, he passed away. And that's the Mandela Effect. It's the memory, the thought of something being there, but not really there. But you can swear that it was there. So we're going to bring in our guest tonight, Green Man. Add him right here. Green Man.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going tonight, man?
Oh, it's going good. Going good.
Late night broadcast. I know it's still kind of early out where you live out in San Diego.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
brother.
San Diego stands for whale's penis or something like that. Isn't that right? Or
Whales,
whale's
vagina.
vagina. That's what it was. I knew it was a sexual body part. I wasn't sure. So what's going on with you, man? What's happening?
Not same old, same old, same old, same old.
What you drinking tonight, man?
Good old A&W.
Root beer?
Yeah.
A&W. I'm actually got a beer tonight. I am drinking Labatt Blue Canadian beers. I got an extra one right here because I'm almost done with this one.
Well, you are a hockey fan, so
I am a hockey fan.
so
Stanley Cup, the Oilers, go Oilers, because my Hurricanes lost out, came home as losers. That's hockey.
I was never a big hockey or never a big sports fan, but out of most of I liked watching hockey the most because this was before UFC and it was the most violent. So,
It's true. I mean, if you ever watch any rugby or anything like that.
that in
Yeah.
Australia, old school Australian football.
Yes. Or I mean, they're the world leagues. I really like our American rugby team. They're okay, but my South African rugby team. Talking about that, yeah, the Springboks. Yes, this is no All Blacks. That's the New Zealand team. Everybody seems to love them. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Well,
so what's happening with you this week, man? Anything exciting? Anything new?
Nothing really. A couple of things at work. A couple of big quotes that I put out. Went through. So that's nice.
That's good, man. That's good.
Other than that, nothing.
So tonight's topic, I came up with the Mandela Effect.
I remember hearing when I was a kid, because spoilers, I'm old. I remember hearing when I was a kid that he died.
Yes.
And then years later, his name come up on the news. I'm like, still around? Didn't he die like fucking 10 years ago or something like that?
Yeah,
honestly.
No, he became president of South Africa. He's even got his face on the currency there. I think in some of the bills they're changing, just for modern times, but a lot of South African rand is still has Nelson Mandela's face on it. So as I know, he died later on in years. Yeah, because I go to South Africa. Actually, if you remember, I have friends and family that live there, and I go there, and I like to spend time there in South Africa. I like to spend some time, but yeah, I know the situation, and I know what's happened. So when we talk about the Mandela effect, there is several things that came up that I was talking to a coworker today because she asked me what do I know about the Mandela effect. I said, hey, let me educate you. And so we talked about, like, okay, example of the Mandela effect, Jiffy peanut butter. I clearly remember
Jiffy's
peanut butter. Yeah,
but it was spelled different, something like that, right?
Right, or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember Jiffy peanut butter. I really do. And the story that it came up, she goes, I remember that too. And now they're saying it never happened. It was never a real product.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them like that I remember.
She said she said that when she was little, she had a chance to get a free puppy. So when she brought the puppy home, her mother said, no, you cannot keep it here. But if you want to keep it, maybe you can keep it at your grandmother's house. So she took it to her grandmother's house. She asked if she can keep it and keep it there. Her grandmother agreed. And they named the dog after the thing of peanut butter that her grandmother had on the table that she would always buy. and it was Jiffy. The dog's name was Jiffy.
Yeah.
So that's how she relates the peanut butter Jiffy to the Mandela effect. And now later on, you talk about that. It was never a product. It was never around.
Yeah. No, dude. I remember seeing when I was a kid. Dude, most kids peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right?
Of course, you
Dude,
had your
okay. Yeah. I
you
was
had
born.
your Skippy,
Yeah.
you had your Peter Pan,
Yeah.
and then you had your store brand,
Yeah.
and then you had Jiffy.
Yeah. And that's, dude, that's what we got all the time. So it was always in the cupboard. I saw it all the time. If I can make sandwiches, it's always Jiffy.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of like the brand that it was the next step up above the store brand. Whatever the store brand was, and not the name brand,
Yeah. Yeah.
frills or whatever it was.
Or the generic one that was just the white label with the
It
light
said,
blue line at the bottom.
yeah,
It
it
just
said
said
peanut butter.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you remember the TV show Mama's Family?
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
remember the beer that she used to drink? It was a blue can and it said in white letters beer.
Beer. Yeah.
Beer. Oh man. Yeah,
That was a good show. That was a
yeah,
good
that was a good show, man. That was a good show. But let's see, what's another thing they talked about?
The Berenstein and Bernstein or
Yeah,
something like that.
Berenstein and Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, that was another one. I
Yeah,
remember.
the Fruit of the Loom logo
Yeah,
with a cornucopia in it. I
yeah,
totally remember that cornucopia in it.
dude. Yeah. They're saying that wasn't okay. And this one's kind of new to me. They're saying it never had a cornucopia.
Yeah. Now it's just a group of fruit. And they're saying that it never had a cornucopia in it.
No,
Bullshit.
okay. No,
It totally did.
that's a new one to me, dude. And I can still fucking see it in my head.
Yeah, me too, man. Every time I think about it.
Yeah, it was all stitched in with the the stitch.
Yeah, with the fruit.
Yeah.
Yep, it sure did. And then I remember like the commercials. You remember when the actual characters would dress up as the fruit, and at the end of it, they'd have the cartoon like graphic of the fruit and the cornucopia in it. It was in if you had the old underwear, it was still stitched in that
it was
little
on the
tag in the
label.
back.
Yeah.
It was on the label.
Yeah, it was their logo at the time.
Yep, they're saying that the cornucopia never happened. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's new. That was new for me. See, a lot of the ones that I remember are because I'm a big movie guy, so I remember a lot of the movie ones.
Like what?
Like I think the first one that I remember was Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah.
What was in that?
Remember the get the bigger boat line?
Yes. Actually, a quick little fact about Jaws. Isn't it the 50-year anniversary this summer for Jaws?
I think probably.
Yeah, it is. I think they're going to re-release it in theaters in July or whatever it is for the 50. But anyway, yes, I think we'll need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
That.
So now it's because I remember you're going to need a bigger boat, and now it's like I think you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah,
that little change. Little side story about Jaws. Nothing big, but I think it was a pretty cool idea. A couple years back, they had a Bayside showing of Jaws,
and
you could actually go out. It was right off the water, so you could go out in your little fucking inflatable tube or kayak or something out and then float out in the water while you're watching Jaws.
On the ocean?
in the bay.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we don't have great whites in the bay, but you still have a lot of like leopard sharks and shit like that out there.
Oh yeah,
get big. I mean, not going to take down a whole human, but I just thought that was a cool idea.
That is a cool idea.
But that one,
I know Star
Empire
Wars.
Strikes Back. Yes, Empire. Dude, because I went to I saw Empire in the theater when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, honestly, a couple of years back, something like 25-year-old guy comes into my work and he's got a Star Wars shirt, blah blah blah, an Empire shirt, and I'm like, oh yeah, I saw it in the theater, and he just like looked at me like I fucking sprouted wings or some shit, like I was a god or something. Like, really? Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I would have done
yeah.
that.
And
I
I'm like,
saw all the other Star Warses past, Jedi in
yeah,
theater, and when they re-released them, of course, I saw them in theater, but
yeah. I never
not
got to
the
see.
originals.
Yeah, I never got to see Star Wars though. I saw the other originals in the theater, but yeah, my sister went to go see it with some of her friends, and she comes back. She's like, "Oh my god, you're gonna love this movie!" I'm like, "It's so awesome! You're gonna love it! You're gonna love it!" And then never took me, and lines were always too long, and
Mhm.
so I was very pissed. But so yeah, but yeah, dude, I remember the whole, I am your father, and now it's like, you know no, Luke, I am your father. The whole that line, which dude, I've even seen interviews where like James Earl Jones himself said, "No, this is the line I said
Yeah,
while I
I've
was
seen that
recording it."
interview too.
You know, so there's a lot of weird little shits around it.
Yeah, I see. What else do you think? I'm trying to remember some of the things of the Mandela effect. I mean, we were talking about these, like, what if? Because it really comes to a question of what if? What if, if Elvis was never born? That goes to the Mandela effect of a different timeline in universe of multiple universes.
Yeah.
What if in our timeline Elvis was never born? What would music be like today if Elvis was never born?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's something to think about. It's something to think. Now, there could be a timeline that we exist on. Elvis never existed. Nobody knows who Elvis is. Do you think that's possible?
Well, with yeah, quite honestly, I wouldn't. We know it's there's there with all the quantum shit that's no idea about, at least
Yeah.
you know
And
no idea nothing about to talk about, but
right. And that kind of stuff, I mean, that stuff is kind of freaky. But if you think about it, is another thing, it's almost, they call the Mandela effect also like the butterfly effect.
mhm.
What if for the listeners out there and you don't know what the butterfly effect is, say like a butterfly was flying and it landed on your hand and you swatted it away and you accidentally damaged its wings and it dies. What if that butterfly was the last bit of its species or a beginning of a new species that was supposed to thrive and belong into the future, but at that moment when you swiped it away and you damaged its wings and killed it, you created a whole nother timeline, you know. I mean, that's where that stuff comes from. But it's like, okay, think about this. This is big things. What if we took up the timeline where America did not get involved in the Vietnam War? What would life be like today? What would life be like today if Adolf Hitler got killed in World War One, where he fought? This is some deep questions. I know, Green Man.
No, there was did you ever hear that old Art Bell where this guy called in, said he was from an alternate universe where the South won the Civil War?
Yes, I have. When it comes to Art Bell, there's not many shows I have not listened
That's
to.
why I figured I'd bring that one up.
Art Bell is one of my I would say one of my like role models in broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's like when the one where do you remember the episode of Mel's Hole?
Oh yes, very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember that one?
Yeah.
What if
Still people looking for Mel's Hole making shows
that's
about
true? People
Mel's
are
Hole.
still trying to look for that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Mel's Hole is, for all you listeners out there, Google it sometime. I don't want to go down this road right now, Mel's
Yeah,
Hole, because that is a interesting subject right there.
and he was on Art like 3 or 4 freaking times too.
Yeah,
And
before he
it was
went,
like,
before he disappeared.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they were like hour-long shows, hours and hour, 2-hour shows, him talking about stuff.
Yeah. Just think if Mills Hole was out and was able to get out in public, and like, where they sent the ice down into the hole and it still burned and
Yeah.
everything like that. Think if we had that kind of energy, like product to make energy, we would have an endless supply of energy right now. That
Yeah.
timeline of the whole world would have changed at that timeline. And that's another Mandela effect, or a butterfly effect, But do you what other ideas do you have with the subject, Calvin? I mean, I know this is a little deep and it's a lot of people don't talk about this subject because it's kind of a out of sight, out of mind, because they don't want to know if if my dad
What
took
what
two extra minutes in life to meet my mom, I would have never been born.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah. One day getting up when he was 17, took a couple extra minutes to find his keys, walked out the door those 2 later minutes, and there goes mom.
There goes mom.
Yeah.
Or you took a 2 extra minutes, have to go take a dump, and during that 2 extra minutes, the time you would have left that 2 extra minutes, a car would have hit you on the way out or something like that.
Yeah.
But somebody else got hit, or like you would have been walking and somebody would have hit that light pole or something like that. And it's just, it comes down to it is if this, if that, if that. We can't live our life by ifs. Nobody can, and that's good information and good, advice for everyone. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, why can't we find information about? Why can't we find these old images of what we remember, especially of the cornucopia from Fruit of the Loom, logos or old pictures? There's got to be like Polaroid pictures of this stuff out somewhere. As somebody taking products or taking pictures of products, and there's a product on the table.
See, this one's got me so curious now. Dude, the next time I go to a swap meet, as gross as it is, I'm going to be going through piles of old underwear looking for logos,
you never know, though. You never know. You might find. Yeah.
Because see, what a couple of questions is, what, if it's real, what caused it? And what changed?
Yeah.
What was it? What caused it? And what changed? Was it some kind of quantum EMP that just kind of shook the timeline of things?
Yeah.
What triggered that? And what was, it's like, what exactly was the difference and result between what would have been and what is now? But it's just how the hell do you figure that out?
No,
at least that.
And to give you some light of what you could actually sum it up in a way, a glitch in the Matrix. Nobody ever thought of that until that movie came out. Is a glitch in our timeline, where something was changed. And just like you said, what changed and how did it change? Or, how can you not? I mean, you know how many Polaroid cameras there was, or it still is, or pictures. My mom has several big boxes of nothing but Polaroids.
Yeah.
That we had, is that she took of us as kids and different things. There's got to be product somewhere in those Polaroids that somebody may have. I mean, if you got them, scan them, send them to the shows, send them to the
Yes.
Rick. It's Sorry show. And
Take pictures of your underwear labels and send them in.
yes. If you
Please watch
scan,
first.
zoom in. If you got pictures of yourself, in your underwear or something like that, that's on backwards or inside out, that we can see the label.
Yes.
And
The
if you want to
Fruit
email
Braille.
me, yes, if you want to email me those pictures or anything, this is the email address right at the bottom of the screen, the Rick Sorry Show at gmail.com. Feel free to email me your questions, comments, concerns, how to get a hold of Green Man if you want to talk to him, or anything.
If you
Really,
did.
I mean, we're gonna need some more. I got several letters. You know how I do the little segment letters to Rick. I got some letters this past week, but I have to say these were kind of lame, and so I'm like, I don't, I don't know if I want to put these ones out yet. But I
Well,
mean, I got to get some more juicy ones. But please keep sending them to me. And if I get enough of these ones, I'll probably just post them all on there. I'll probably just go ahead and put them in the AI and let them get read.
I have a little information on past email.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yep.
let's hear it. Which one is it?
So this was from Nicole. Remember Nicole? The one that
is
had
that the Halloween decorations?
One. Okay. So now, best I could find. This was 9 years ago. Okay, in a city in Ohio, because she said she was from Ohio.
Yes.
And the only thing I could find that was close to it was that there was apparently, here was a story. Man and this girl were arguing on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
He goes freaking and pulls out a knife and starts stabbing her and dicing her up. Well, she was trying to climb up a fence to get up and over to get away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And before she made it, she died. She bled out. She lost consciousness and died and hung there. And the guy just took off and left her there. So she hung there for a couple of days or so because it was in October, so people thought it was a Halloween decoration.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But that's the only thing anywhere near close in Ohio that I can find on that.
That's crazy.
So it's pretty it's close, but she was saying that he was collecting people and purposely dicing them up and stuff like that. So I mean, it's kind of the root of the story is there, but it's like it was 9 years ago. Stories get embellished and everything over time. So that's kind of what I was figuring. But it's still
she never said how long ago it was or when it happened.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the only thing I could find on it.
But again, that's pretty good research, and find stuff like that. I'm sure there's some stories that never really got published or out. You would have to really dig in the archives of the police records to find stuff like that. And I wish it would be easier access to find stuff, but you have to really call them, tell them what you're doing and why you want this and whatnot, because it is public records. But if you're not a resident of that area, they're kind of like, oh, why do you really need this?
Well, I don't know. It's because I watch a lot of the body cam videos and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it's like a lot of these channels just FOIA request them and get them and put episodes up of them all the time.
Oh,
dude, I get onto these weird things. It's these tasing videos, and then it's nuclear reaction, Chernobyl videos, and then it's fucking wood turning or some stupid damn little thing, magnet fishing, some goofy fucking thing. I'll watch these videos for a while.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those weird ass fucking things that.
Do you have access to like Discovery Plus or anything like that? Do you watch that?
No, I don't have that. I've got like Amazon Prime, basic shit. Netflix, and other than that, internet.
Well, you might. I don't know if they're on other things. I just know that this TV show is on Discovery Plus that I watch, but it could be on other servers or whatever.
Mm.
It's called it has Jack Osborne in it and also the Ghost Brothers. I don't know if you ever watched the Ghost Brothers or anything before.
I have seen. Thought saw part of that show one time on Discovery Channel when I still had DirecTV.
Mhm.
I think I saw part of that because I remember seeing him with them a couple times.
Yeah. And the show was called Fright Club, and what they do, these people send in videos of uh their like activities of like UFO, paranormal, ghostly stuff. Some of these videos that they send in, man, you're just like, I jump out of my seat. I'm like, whoa, did you just
Yeah,
see that? And I'm just like, this is some really, really good video stuff. And this ain't no worst cell phone that you ever had, in 2025 trying to take a UFO video. These are
yeah.
some clear, security camera stuff, cell phone stuff, video camera stuff. And some of that stuff, I mean, like, if you do not think that, ghost and paranormal and demons and stuff like that are real, some of these videos will convince you. And I mean, that stuff that would freak me out even if I had that stuff going on in my house. But um
Have you seen the new Bigfoot video?
no, I haven't. What
Oh,
is that?
I I think it was in I want to say Washington State, but I mean, and it was taken with like a good video camera, but it's still kind of like, all right, kind of on one ridge, looking down at another ridge, and it's like you see like in between trees, you see like a little, kind of
Oh, okay.
thing. So
All
it's,
right.
I mean, you could tell it's hairy, you could tell it's on two legs, but it's still too far away, and it's kind of
Yeah, you still can't see it. Now, there is I was actually watching Fright Club, and they were showing this video of this guy. He sees a Sasquatch on the edge of the woods and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And he's like walking around and he picks up a rock and sidearms it towards the guy with the camera. It didn't come close to him, but he threw a rock at him. This Sasquatch was, and this thing was huge. There was another video. This kid and his dad were out riding four-wheelers in this creek kind of thing. And the kid stopped and he was filming his dad trying to go over these rocks and stuff like that. And then he stops, and less than 50 yards, this Sasquatch walks out in front of him, and he stops his four-wheeler. He's like, "What was that?" And the kid was like, "What was that?" And that was evidence. I mean,
Yeah.
there is no way that was a guy in a ghillie suit or monkey suit or whatnot.
Well, have you seen the one where they tested the original footage of it was a Bigfoot running like across like a hillside? Well,
So was that on Finding Bigfoot?
yeah, I
That
think so. Yeah,
Bobo? Yes,
it
yeah.
was, and then they went there, recreated, and they actually had like an Olympian or something like that try and
Mhm.
run the length.
Oh yes, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they knew where he was and all that. So they knew the scale of the height was off, and there's like even the Olympian couldn't make the time. And he's like the guy was like obviously like another foot and a half taller, another 300 pounds heavier, and
Right.
outpaced this guy. So
Yeah. What a really Bigfoot, and now a lot of people say this is fake. It's one to where they captured it from the train, the video footage in Colorado, where it was walking out in the open kind of field, and it just kind of squatted down, just a set. Have you seen that one?
I think I have. Yeah, I think I have. I saw
It
the
was like it was clear. It was like clear footage, and I
Yeah,
was
because it
like,
wasn't walking through kind of like a brown
Yes,
field.
yes.
Yeah, and it was like a kind of like a brownish black, and it just kind of like I think it was
Yep. Yeah.
wanted to take a shit
Sure
or something.
was.
Like that.
Yeah, sure
Yeah.
did. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it to me, I mean, I don't know, man. Why would somebody this train was going out in the middle of nowhere in Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to Colorado. It's got a lot of open land.
Yeah.
You know, and train tracks always run in the away from everything in open land.
Yeah. Middle of
Just
nowhere
in the middle
countryside.
of nowhere. Yes. To me, I don't think that was somebody dressed up. I mean, they're saying, "Oh no, it's somebody dressed up in ghillie suit, somebody dressed up in a monkey suit." No, I honestly, even though I love Bigfoot, Bigfoot's like one of my favorite cryptids, you know, but I have to say, yes, to me, that is compelling evidence.
Hmm.
So, Green Man, let's take a break. Get me another beer. All right, I'm finished too talking to you, and
Okay.
so let me get another beer. I'm gonna play a little commercial break. This is the Rick Sorry Show. I'm really glad that everyone's still joining in and watching us on Spotify and iHeartRadio. And you can also catch me on the YouTube. And I appreciate all the likes, comments, and everything that you're sending on this. So we'll be right back after this commercial here. Well, if I can figure it out here. Oh, yeah. We'll be right back after this commercial. Are you depressed? Do you have bills? Do you have anxiety? Do you have work? Non-social life? Well, if you would stay single, this would not happen to you. But this would, woo, doggy, get you some, boy. Hair it up. Take you a handful of get you some, and you'd be peeing in the pool and partying all day and all night long. So get you some, and let's party all night long. Oh yeah. Good night, player. Get you some. All right, man. You got to get you a handful of get you some. Oh, man. I made that commercial today. I was just like, all
Okay.
right, I'm just going to just fuck around and just put this out, you know.
Good word.
Hey, you got to admit, that's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, I like it, dude.
Especially, you know, it's all serious and depressing, and all of a sudden it shows these girls' butts. And oh, yeah, if you weren't single, you get you some. Oh, hey, looks like Dre.
Oop.
Dre came in. I don't think.
Great.
Yeah, he said he's in. I added him to the stage. He hasn't came in yet, so but I added him. I
Ooh.
wonder if Manny will come in.
Oh, maybe.
Our buddy Dre. We haven't talked to him in a while. I haven't talked to him.
No.
See if he'll come in.
Dre.
Dre.
Hello, Dre.
Well, he accepted the link,
Did
and
he fall asleep again?
yeah, he made a name, but I don't know. I must not got his flip phone going or something like that.
Oh, hopefully he didn't fall asleep again.
Okay. Well, if he gets video in, I'll bring him in. I don't know. His mic is still muted, but anyway, if he comes in with video, I'll let him in. That's kind of cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, hopefully Manny's probably passed out drunk or something. I don't know, man. But I was kind of hoping Manny would come on so he can talk
Yeah.
about his YouTube show.
Yeah.
You
I've
know,
been watching. Yeah, he's been putting out a bunch of shorts. I've been watching them.
yeah. That's
Getting
good
really
stuff.
good with the AI stuff.
Yeah, he's getting pretty good with that AI stuff. And well, we're talking about Manny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No, go
talking
ahead.
AI, dude. Did you hear about the AI that threatened to blackmail the
Yes.
people when they were asking about
Yeah,
shutting down?
he's like, say that you're having an
Yeah,
external
having an affair
affair
or some shit like that.
because he refused to shut down.
Yeah,
Yeah, they refused to shut down. Isn't that nuts? I heard that the other day myself. Yeah,
dude.
that's nuts. I mean, think about like how where AI actually got the intelligence from and everything from the internet and how that's nuts. We're talking about Manny. Hopefully, Manny will come on tonight and talk about this. Here is his YouTube channel. If you like to go visit who we're talking about and see what he's all about and what he talks about on his YouTube channel, it's youtube.com at the Tempest Universe #2. Um, just go there, check it out, man. I think people will dig it. I mean, he seems to be getting quite a bit of traffic onto the website
Yes.
or onto the YouTube channel. I don't, but man, I still remember. Okay, here's another Mandela effect or butterfly effect. If COVID would not have happened, would we have all met?
Well, didn't we met before?
Well, I didn't really. Okay. I was listening to the shows.
Yeah.
I was not getting involved at all. I was just
Okay.
listening. I would listen to it at night, just to relax and everything like that. Till one day I just got the balls and just kind of came on, yeah, and started talking. And it was like the right beginning, right before the pandemic, before all the shutdown.
Huh.
So
Okay.
during the shutdown, we had all kinds of,
Yeah.
videos, and I mean, I think he was broadcasting like 3 times a
Yeah.
week.
Three for a while. Yeah.
But some of his older stuff, I go back and I sometimes listen to that.
Oh yeah.
And some of the names that he spouts out that he was talking to, and even I was like, "Oh my gosh, I remember him. I remember talking," Um, so it looks like Dre opted out right there, the thing. So
Oh.
hopefully he'll come in. Maybe he'll click on the thing and come back in.
He's got to take care of. He's got to take care of Dev. So
Yes, and
speedy recovery.
speedy recovery to that. I was like, man, that sucks, man. But hey, workman's comp.
Hey, well,
Yeah, she was on the post office.
yeah, but it's hopefully it works better for the government employees. Because, dude, I'm on workman's comp, dude, and it's fucking 3 years to do, and I'm still.
You're still fighting it and trying to get it.
Every fucking. Dude, I just finally I finally got a couple months ago finally got approved for fucking acupuncture.
It's taken this long to do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. The first doctor I went to put a couple little steroid shots in my back, and then when that didn't help, just told me to go to Costco, get a big bottle of ibuprofen, and take as many as I need. Literally his fucking words. Month
Because he
later,
knew. Yeah, he knew
month
he
later,
couldn't do anything.
news came out. Don't be gobbling down handfuls of fucking ibuprofen.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Damage your liver and stuff.
So I went to this guy and I'm like, hey, doc, I'm taking like 12 to 15 of these things and they're not helping. How many am I supposed to be taking? How many am I supposed to take to get this help you're talking about? And he just kind of, oh, well. So then I blew off workman's comp. I'm like, fuck it. I'll go to my insurance. Got so far with my insurance. I was about to go see a specialist, had an MRI, the whole thing. And then they say, oh, well, you've got an open workman's comp case. We can't touch you. Sends me back to workman's comp. So then I have a referral doctor, sends me a couple months, get an okay to go see one doctor. I'm supposed to see this one doctor. I go to his office for about 7 or so months and see a completely different doctor who the first time I'm there is like within 30 seconds takes one look at my fucking MRI and says, yeah, you need surgery. And had a couple tests that I had to do. So I did all that, but still never seeing the doctor I was supposed to be seeing. Calling my lawyer saying, hey, you know, what's taking so damn long? And they're like, oh, we're just waiting for the report from the doctor. So I finally go in to see this wonderful doctor, meet him first time. And before I even go in, I walk past him and he starts making one-line cracks about me and the guy behind me's limp.
Oh, dang.
And it was the Monday right after the Super Bowl, because then for the next hour I sit in my room while I listen to him talk to everybody in his staff, the guy next door to me, about the fucking Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah.
Not caring at all.
Not giving a fucking shit. So I was upset. Words were exchanged. I limped out of the office. Went to my talked to my lawyers and got on the sense. So,
all right.
And finally got a second, or actually now at this point, a third back surgeon to look at me. And this guy was fucking awesome. Within 20 minutes, met him first time through. Within 20 minutes, he's like, okay, yeah, here's a situation. You're a candidate for surgery. He's talking about fusing 3 discs because he's like, well, you got 2.5 bad discs now. So
holy crap.
While we're in there, catch this one before it goes totally shit and do this. And yeah, dude, I've been to pain. Nobody gets, the strongest thing that they've given me so far, any of them have given me so far, was like gabapentin, which did nothing. I was on that forever. One doctor gave me Tramadol. I've been through a couple different steroid shots, procedures that did nothing. Requesting different pain management places, getting turned down for. So,
and that's a whole nother subject too, right there. Is the medical industry. It's a medical industry complex thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Healthy people don't pay.
Healthy people don't pay. Yeah.
So why do they want to?
I don't know. Medical things. Okay, so we got a little off subject, but that's okay.
All right.
You know, that's good. I don't know if you caught last week's show. I kind of went solo on that. I had a little bit of news. Did you hear about, or did you see the video about around the border of Arizona, and California? The video of the UFOs, like crossing the border in between Arizona and California. Did you see those videos?
No, I haven't seen anything on that.
After a little bit of the videos were posted, after about 2-3 hours of these videos being up, they were taken down, and now you cannot find them anymore on YouTube. Tried to look for them in any other way, but I did come across this past week this gosh, I can't remember the name of the town now in Florida. This UFO, this guy took a picture of a UFO, a video. Man, it had to be a couple hundred feet off the ground. It was clear. It was a clear video. It was definitely like a black metal looking video or object in the sky.
Hmm.
This was in Florida, and it stayed online for a while. I think it still is online. I even played a little bit of the video to analyze it, to talk about it in my last show. But the biggest news of my last show is that there's one of the Air Force bases out in Arizona. One of the F-16s was hit and struck by a UFO, unidentified flying object, UFO, which is now called UAPs, which I'm totally against calling it UAP. It's like calling Twitter X, you know? But
I understand. Yeah, me too.
okay.
I'm
All
a
right.
UFO guy.
So this UFO hit this F-16. Why isn't that news? I mean, this is government property. This is property that me, you, any taxpayer pays for.
That's billions of dollars right there.
Billions of dollars. And they just kind of brush it off. Oh, UFO hit a plane, F-16 off one of the bases in Arizona.
Like it happens every day.
Yeah, like it happens every day. If it happens every day, give us some information. Why is there, which base was it? Was it from Tucson? Was it from Phoenix? Was it from whatever base that may not be recognized? And why was this plane close enough to get hit? And how did it get hit? Because of its radar systems. Technology, I mean, come on, there's some information that's not being disclosed here, which, you know, when it comes to disclosure, good luck on that. They'll set up in Congress all day long with some special expert and some 4-star general or colonel or whatever talking about UFOs that they exist, but where's the proof?
Maybe it was a dogfight test scenario between a drone and shit went south, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit it.
It could be. I mean, they could be just like, okay, we just say this is UFO and that's it. You know, we'll leave it open questions. Nobody's gonna. I mean, who's gonna question that now? If it was like, okay, these two pilots, they kind of crashed into each other. That's pilot area. Why was the two pilots that close to each other? How did they crash? Investigation.
Yeah, maybe it was an AI drone, and it got to the point to the only way to complete my objective is to essentially become a projectile.
Could be. But you know, the drones are the future of warfare, no matter what. We're already seeing that in the Ukrainian-Russian war.
Oh yeah.
But you know, with the drones and everything like that, why can't we get closer to UFO sightings that are being stable enough to the ground? Because drones these days can go pretty high, pretty fast, and carry, you know, ammunition. It can carry missiles. It can carry little small grenades and bombs and everything like that. So why can't we get these? Why can't we get these images? Why can't we get this close to them?
I just not allowed to see them. See what we do have.
And that's another thing. You know, what if people are conjuring these up? You know, are just saying, because you ever seen what was his name, Dr. Greer? You know that guy? You know who I'm talking about?
Lizard Man.
Yeah, he has these like drum circles. That's what I like to call them, drum circles, or where he invites people out in the desert and they summon up UFOs
for $2,000 a pop. You know.
Oh yeah, for $2,000 a pop. You know,
I
plan on.
Or was it 4? So I know. It was like I'm like, yeah, it was, too much.
Yeah, I plan on having a UFO summoning this summer. $2,000. Just email me the Rick Astari Show. Send me your money, and we'll sit around out in the backyard, and we'll summon up some UFOs. No problem. Is here in Nashville?
Yeah.
It's here in Asheville. It's a hippie town, and y'all love it.
Yeah, I'll do one here on the West Coast. We'll go up to Palomar Mountain and bring your drums and you know, yeah, same thing. Well, now to California, there's a 3,000 per seat because there's taxes are a bitch out here.
Yeah, taxes are high. Gas expensive.
Yeah,
But
have sympathy. I'm an old man who needs surgery.
yeah. I some of that stuff that he says, Doctor is it Stephen Greer? Yeah, Doctor
Yeah,
Stephen
yeah,
Greer, I
yeah.
believe it is. Yeah,
Yeah, some of it's
some of that,
true, but
yeah, some of that
yeah.
stuff makes sense. That he says, but when it comes down to it, and he's like charging this ridiculous amount of money to go on these little retreats and stuff like that, I'm like,
It's almost like he got hit by a Mandela effect. It's like at one point back in the day he was fine, and then it was just like, and he was like, lizards and 4,000
yeah.
bucks a ticket.
Have you done any research about like these Bigfoot excursions to places where hot spots for Sasquatch, where these guides will take you out? You know how expensive that stuff is?
Do you get to carry if you go on one of these things?
No, you're on private land. And some of it's not even private land. Some of it's like national forest land that you're going hiking through and camping on. And
Look, regardless, you got fucking snakes and bears and shit. No, I'm not going out in the wood without.
you better have a nice set of choppers, because the only way you're going to defend yourself is you bite that motherfucker to death.
Yeah. That's why I'm going out armed.
I don't blame you on that, man.
I ain't gonna try and pop one at Bigfoot unless he's running at me. But if anything runs at me or anything rattles in a bush,
Oh yeah, definitely. So, did you happen to catch the podcast with when I had a local Asheville citizen here?
Yeah.
He's talking about like we were talking about how he lives out in the outskirts of Asheville, and he's like he gets freaked out when he walks his dogs and stuff, and sometimes he hears like singing out in the woods, and like not just singing, it's like humming. It's more like a hum that turns into like a verbal tonage or something like that. I was like, dude, I think that's a Sasquatch. I told him, I said, I really do believe you have a Sasquatch that's close to your house that hums.
So
Because
I was listening to some. I don't know. I saw that show. I thought it was cool. I liked it. Some of it was just like singing though. I've heard the whooping and the
whooping and humming.
But humming though, humming and kind of singing is kind of new. I was maybe there's something else living out in the woods that
it could be.
Like
he also said mimicking. It mimics.
See, that's what got me more thinking of something like a Wendigo or something like that.
Well, I have heard of a story, and I told him that story about the dog Peanut, about how this guy, he had Sasquatch. They were coming in on his property at night, and he thought there was just people out in the woods coming in and doing stuff, throwing sticks, throwing bushes, or throwing branches. And he would let his dog out at night. He had a little bitty like Chihuahua. He called it Peanut, and he would call it from the porch after it goes and does his business. He's like, Peanut, here, Peanut, come here, Peanut. And sometimes after the dog would come inside, he would have his windows open or whatever, and he can hear like the voice or something outside going, Peanut, Peanut, within a deep, like gurgly voice. He'd be like, Peanut, Peanut,
See, now I would be outside fucking with the brightest goddamn flashlight I've got and looking for whatnot. I don't play that show.
Yeah.
I don't play that show with my dogs.
Yeah, kidding, man. I don't blame you on that, but still, I mean, it's just like when it comes to something like that, I mean, this guy called the law out to his house like 5, 6, 7 times, within a month because of the situation. Eventually, the cop. This is the same cop that actually, would come on his day off or his time off and like search his property, and that's when he went and found the footprint down by the river of his or close to the creek where he lived, and there were several footprints, but some of the ones that he actually casted were some of the famous ones that were that are known today that we've seen that are famous, that are very detailed.
Yeah.
Even with the toe, whatever it is, like it's on your fingerprint or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, the toe print. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was kind of hoping Dre and Manny would come in, but hey, I really appreciate you joining me tonight, Green Man,
Oh,
and
anytime, dude.
talking about the Mandela Effect. You got anything else that you want to throw in or anything to talk about?
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm trying to get this one guy. He's a coworker that I work with. It's here in Asheville. I was trying to get him to come on the show this next week. Man, this guy, man, he's got some theories, he's got some ideas, and he's got some stuff. I'm like, dang, I wouldn't even think about it, but he's got all the way. He's mostly conspiracy stuff, and he is full of it, man. I mean, he's got some stories to tell and talk about, and ideas that he's got up. I'm trying to get him to go on the show. I think he's shy, because I think he's got his own little thing going, but I'm not sure, but he knows I have a podcast. He knows I'm into this kind of stuff, and so hopefully he'll come on the show next week, and we'll have we have a pretty good show for this next week. Hopefully this next Wednesday he'll be on.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, Green Man, I really appreciate you coming on the show tonight. And like I said, if you have any questions for Green Man, feel free to email me, and I can just hand it over to Green Man and give it to him, the information. If you have any questions for me or concerns or comments or anything, you can email me at the Rick It's Sorry Show. Yep, there's my email address down at the bottom of the screen. And if you'd like to follow me here on Facebook, Instagram, and you can also watch the show on YouTube. And I am now on iHeartRadio, and I am very happy to have that. And I'm also on Spotify. So if you want to catch me on Spotify and iHeartRadio, if you can't watch the videos, catch me there. But other than that, I like to thank everybody for watching. Keep your head on a swivel and keep your eyes to the sky. Anything you want to add in before I go, Green Man?
No, man, just thanks for having me. It's always fun.
All right, man. Well, I'll catch you later, and you stay safe out there, man.
You have been listening to The Rick It's Sorry Show. Tune in again for more crazy stuff that will make you wonder, what the hell did I just listen to? If you would like to follow The Rick It's Sorry Show on social media, search for the show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you would like to be on the show to tell about an encounter you may have had, you should email Rick at therickitsorryshow@gmail.com. And remember, the difference between you and me is just a couple of drinks, a tinfoil hat, and one crazy night in Asheville.